Wilfried, we saw Aloy back out there. First of all, how long do you think until he is back and available? And also, when you have Patrick playing the way that he has been recently, how do you kind of work Aloy back in a position where only one guy can play, or do you?
No, the idea, first of all, is to it's about Aloy. He has to come back healthy. This is the most important. So today was the first session. So I don't know how it was during the session because I just finished the practice. But we'll see. And after that, the idea is first of all he has to come back, and after that we'll see how we're gonna manage the goalkeeper. But for me, this is not an issue. Everything's gonna have to be clear, and we'll see. But like I told you, he's been out for a long time, so now the idea is for him to give him time to come back, and he knows also his body, so he's gonna be able to see if he can come back full during the practice or not, and after that we'll see.
And we've seen Patrick with using his feet quite a bit this year, but last night obviously he had the behind the leg. Is that something that he had naturally? Is that something you guys have worked with him on more? And how essential is that for a goalkeeper in the way you guys like to play?
I would say both because as you know, in a professional environment, I think that every player have talent. So, and Patrick, I think that he has this ability to do what he did yesterday. This is not something that we teach him, but he found yesterday a way to stay with the concept that we want to do. So this is the execution. So he understands tactically what we want, and technically this is the execution. How he can find a way to attract the opposition or not. So also it's all about the background of the player. I think that Pat he has this ability also to play a lot of sport, and also when he was young, he was playing as a player, was not a goalkeeper. So I think that all this can help him to do what I want him to do on the pitch. I'm not saying that what he did yesterday with the dribble like this, he has to do it all the time, but for me, this is a good technical player. For me, is a player who has this ability to find the good move to do at the right moment. So he did it, and for me, I was happy for him, but also I know that the players sometimes are fed up of me because I stress them a lot in terms of try to be composed, try to, like I told you, I believe that yes, sometimes we have to speed up the play, but sometimes we have to slow down the play. And to slow down the play, the goalkeeper is involved also. So the fact that he was able also to slow down the play, he was able to find also players between the lines, or around, or over the line. So good for him, and good for all the goalkeeper. So good for the team. So he has to keep going.
Looking forward to Saturday. Obviously, this is a young rivalry, two teams in the same state. How do you kind of view games like this in terms of the way you handle it with the team? Does this change at all because of the emotions that can be behind a game like that, or do you guys kind of view it as it's another game on the schedule?
No, this is not another game because it's a rivalry, so we cannot deny that. But what I like to do is it's going to be the first one here, so I need to see how the player will react regarding this game, and after that I'm going to be able to use tool or depending what I'm going to see. It could be tactical tools, it could be mental tools, it could be a lot of things, it depends. So, but in terms of motivation, we don't have to motivate the player for that, so it's normal. But also sometimes we have to be good also to have the balance, because there is for this kind of games there's a lot of motivation, and sometimes they put too much attention to the rivalry instead of staying on the task. And this is not easy for them to find this balance. So our job the next 2 days is going to be to give them tools to be good on the pitch, and also to give them also tools to be intense, yes, but also to be cold also, because it could be a school case that sometimes rivalry or derby, this is one guy's gonna be out, red card or something like that. I don't want that. I want them to be aggressive. I want them to do what they have to do to compete, but I want them also to play football.
Do you rely on some of the players that have played in this rivalry or other rivalries around the world, especially with some of the younger guys, to kind of bring them along in a game like that?
Yeah, we cannot buy experience. Experience comes with, you have to live it.
Yeah.
And for me, I believe on that. So it doesn't mean that I will not put young players or old player, because as you know, we can have a young player, but he has already this ability he has this personality to handle any kind of pressure. But yeah, for sure, it's important to have also a good mix of players that they understand what does it mean, because this is not the same game. It's true.
Cincinnati's won all 7 of their games at home this year. I know you guys want to control the game the same way, whether you're playing at home or away. What are the keys in doing that when you're going to a stadium where the team has had so much success playing at home?
For me, this is not about the success that they have, good for them. This is more about the style of play that they have. This is a really good team to defend, and they did a good job to get new players to settle a bit defensively, because the last 2 years they've been good offensively to score goals with the players that they have up front, but they conceded a lot of goals. So now they did a good job in terms of to get better personnel, get a better player to defend better. But this game is going to be about. Honestly, I'm looking forward to this game, because yesterday we were not good in the rest defense. Rest defense is when we attack, try to counter the offensive transition. And if we do that against Cincinnati, we're going to take 5 goals. So again, we have to be good when we attack, to be balanced depending how many players are going to stay up. Yesterday against LA, I don't know if it was a tactical plan or not, but sometimes all the forward players they were staying up. I don't know if because they didn't want to come back or because it was the plan. And this is not easy, because while we are attacking, all the players have to organize the shape offensively, to attack well, but also to defend well. And against Cincinnati, we know that they're gonna have 2 players up front and 1 number 10 most of the time. I don't think that they're gonna change. We have to be good to control those players when we attack. So for me, we will not change the way we play. But again, we're going to be able to adjust also regarding the opposition. But the topic is going to be to play our game, but we need to control also the offensive transition and the body behind that they're going to try to play.
A couple of situations we saw Orlando with almost a numbers up transition where they were playing coming 4v3 or 3v2 in that transition. Was part of the challenge the fact that Alex Matan was playing in a wing position and maybe wasn't accustomed to the work rate necessary to get back? Not pinning it on him, but I'm just curious to what you attribute that those moments where there weren't enough players back.
Yeah, no, nothing with Alex. Alex, the way I presented to Alex, I'm gonna share that with you. It was simple. I told him that don't think about the defensive aspect. If I put you there, it's because I believe that you have the quality to play there. I will never put a player in one position if I know that he won't be able to do it. And I told him that I sat with him and I told him we're gonna play in a 4-4-2. You're gonna play winger on the right. So what do we have to do when we play like this? What did you do in the past when you were playing this position? When the fullback, the left fullback, was moving up. He told me that he was following him. I said, good. So we're gonna play with back five, but instead of tracking back the guy, you're gonna be already in position to move forward. So nothing changed. So you play there because I want you to attack the same way, and because I want a more offensive-minded player in this position. And for me, the rest defense, or to control the offensive transition of the opposition, this is more about the center back and the midfield players. Because this is the middle of the pitch, and the goalkeeper. They have to be good, because sometimes I like to tease them by saying you are not a journalist, you are not analyst, so you are a player, so don't do the ball watching. Try to anticipate if we're going to lose the ball. And the fact that the way we defend with a +1, but the +1 is in front, is not behind. You know what I mean?
Like Aiden or
So usually we have all the time, if one forward is gonna stay, we're gonna have two players. So one's gonna take care of the forward, and one's gonna be behind to cover. But we don't do that.
Yeah.
What we do is, this is a 1v1, and in front of him there is a player. So, and we have to be good to be able to have the right position when we attack. This is when we attack. If we don't have the right position when we attack, when we lose the ball, we are open. But if we have the right position when we attack, that's when we pass the ball forward, but we have all the time a player underneath to be able to recycle the ball. If we lose the ball, we're going to be able to win the ball back or to delay. But yesterday, at a certain moment, it didn't happen. And after that, what we have to be better is, not what we have to be better, because we did it well, is they're going to play the ball over the top. And it's all about cues that the player knows, but sometimes with the emotion we forget that. But they know what to do. That it's all about the emotion. You know, they know how to defend that, and they done it well. But sometimes emotion is coming, and we have to deal with that. And you do the ball watching, and in 1 second it can change. But this is the good task for them.
Great, thank you.
I know there's different games, different opponents, but do you take any satisfaction out of seeing up 2-0 at halftime and then implementing some of the changes and lessons that they had learned in just a couple of days and using that to be successful?
Yeah, thank you for this kind of question, affirmation, because for me this is an affirmation. Yes, because that's why I love my group. I love my players, because all the time they try to be better, all the time. So like I told you, the last two or three games, we had to find a way to unbalance a low block. And the last game, we didn't close the game, so we needed to be better in terms of how we can manage the game. And yesterday they did it not well, but they did it. And they did it too early, because second half had the sensation that we had opportunities to attack, but we didn't attack the box. So, but this is our job, and this is normal. And after that, I would say the last 10 minutes, we were exactly the way I want to see my team, that keep the ball, but with a purpose. Slow down the play or speed up the play with a purpose, to still attack the box. So, and yesterday, all the players were on the task to be better in this topic. So that's why I'm really pleased and happy that they took ownership about this. Now, again, we have to find the balance that, okay, this is a momentum. This is not during all the 42nd half. But what I like also, they were able also to, because LA had the ball at certain moments, normal, they have good players, good team. So they didn't panic. We had a good block. The block was not low, was where is the ball? And we were able to defend together within the block, inside the block. So it's been a good exercise yesterday to be able to apply all these kind of situation, and I'm pleased for that.
You hit a little bit, but how do you make those last 10 minutes the habit? 45 minutes and then
So,
90.
For the moment, I still have my voice, but sometimes I lose my voice, and my name is Barry White. So, so yesterday was okay because at a certain moment I was shouting on them to slow down the play. You know, again, it's me. This is something that I believe that slow down the play with a purpose. I don't like when my player make passes to make passes. So sometimes you can keep the ball, and when you keep the ball, the opposition is going to come, and now we can play the free man. So yesterday they did it well. They did it well, and we were able to be more composed with the ball, to slow down the play, to play player between the lines. I think Alex Matan he had an opportunity, and we had also 2 or 3 opportunities because they recognized that moment. And sometimes we don't have to slow down the play; we have to play over because it's open. So for me, this is exactly the way we have to manage the game when the last moment of the game.
So Yao working off to the side today, just any injury there, what's his status?
This is not so bad. This is not so bad. So we'll see if he's going to be available for this weekend. But I'm pleased that if this is not this weekend, he's going to be the next Wednesday. But this is not bad. Thank you.